Yeah, I'm just curious about your opinion on this because I've seen like a couple of people in like red pill spaces, like Pates or people similar to that, talking about how they should marry a young woman. Would you agree or disagree that that might not be the most like rational course of action?
To marry a young woman? What do you mean by
Yes, that I hear a lot of men talk about how a woman inherently loses value as she gets older, and that's why that they should seek out young women.
Well, I live in the South, and a lot of people get married young, and I think it's really beautiful and wonderful. They preserve this sort of innocence. I have people that work for me that want to get married at 22. They drop out of school. So I don't think there's anything wrong with marrying when you're young. I'd have to see the full context of what they're talking about because I do think, obviously, the longer you wait, and especially in this society that's creating this simulation that sexuality equates to freedom when it doesn't, that what he might be suggesting is that the longer a woman runs free, the more partners that she's gathering and her worth is being diminished. And I think that there is some veracity to that. But, you know, if it's said in a way that sounds a little crass, like seek out younger women because they're not as used, and I can see why people would be offended by it, but that might be underpinned by a little bit of logic. So I'd have to see the clip in its entirety.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking is because in general, I think men do have a biological proclivity. I can't pronounce that
Proclivity.
word. Proclivity. You know, to seek out like youth and beauty. But I also think when it comes to like settle down, you want a mother who's going to be responsible and good towards her children.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the idea that like men seek out beauty is true, but I also think men seek out a level of like responsibility and maturity that only comes with age. So I was just curious because of the other stuff I've heard from people.
And also it's like sex is just sex. Like it's just sex. And
Just
when
what do
you have a
mean by that?
partner, you have an emotional connection with them. And so like the guy on your last podcast, he was on here a few days ago, he was saying how like for men, sex